Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. We have a spicy matchup for you here. Blue-black ninjas versus Death and Taxes. Which one of these board-based aggro decks will prove to be superior in this matchup? Changeling Outcast starting things off for blue-black ninjas. He is a ninja, amongst other things. And Rashad and Port into Thalia, so both decks kind of getting their ideal starts. Blue-black not able to force a will to stop this Thalia. And Changeling turning sideways for a... We've got a Retrofitter Foundry. I actually paused it to try and figure out what the heck ninjutsu creature that was. The Changeling Outcast and Ornithopters for ninjas able to turn sideways. For the most part, nothing's going to get in the way. The Changeling Outcast unblockable or can't be blocked. And the Ornithopters do have flying. Now, Retrofitter Foundry, you can pay 3 to untap it. You can also pay 2 and tap it to create a 1/1 servo, or you can pay 1 and sack it. Sack a servo to create a 1/1 colorless Thopter token, and then you can just tap it and sacrifice a Thopter to get a 4/4 colorless construct, which actually lets you upgrade your Ornithopters to 4/4s. So there's some stuff to be done here. A couple of basic lands, not intimidated by this wasteland, and turning this into a 4/4. As it is, in fact, a Thopter, as well as a ninja. Onboard tricks. Another Thalia comes down. And Phyrexian Revoker is going to stop this Retrofitter Foundry from creating any more shenanigans. Sending for 4. Tyler could double block this and take it down, but we're not at that stage of the game here. Yeah, Retrofitter Foundry. Kind of a hilarious Magic card. Nothing like a good old-fashioned onboard trick to get you flustered. You walk into that, and it's literally in front of you. Let's see if Tyler keeps his focus here. He's able to send for 4. Skyclave Apparition, the new answer to so many permanents in the format, but can't handle tokens. So going to rely on the earlier 3-drop printing of Flicker Wisp in all likelihood. And Murderous Cut. Taken out the Phyrexian Revoker during the end step. We got a Delve Murder, or Doomblade, whatever you want to call it. I feel like that would be a good card to mod to be a cat. It just always looks like Murderous Cat to me, which of course they all are. I mean, any cat that's large enough to kill you will. Thalia facing off against dueling, or a pair of Retrofitter Foundries, which can quickly upgrade these servos into Thopters, making them ultimately 4/4 creatures. Colorless Construct Artifacts. A Sanctum Prelate coming down, but I mean, Dom could actually spit out an incredibly large army just with what's on board, thanks to the utility of these Retrofitter Foundries. And a ton of basics as well. Oh, here we go. We've got some ninjutsu on the 1/1 flyer. Gonna get some card drawing going. Kind of crazy that Ninja of the Deep Hours doesn't make the cut in this list. We've got the Ingenious Infiltrator, which we have on board there. That's going to be whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And Tyler actually scooping it up. The other ninja for the deck is going to be Yuriko, recently printed in that beautiful etched foil from Commander Legends. Definitely a bright spot of that series. Those etched foils, hugely popular, and don't seem to have any type of curling issues as well. The regular foils from the set seem like anybody's game. Anybody's guess which way that's going to play out. I've had some that could literally stand up on their own, just like vertically on the table because of how curled the cards were. And other ones seem to be fine, so I'm not sure what to make of that. But Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, going to be a 3-mana 1/3, but the ninjutsu is 2. And whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, you're going to reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand, and each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Essentially a reversed Dark Confidant trigger, where you get the card and they take the damage, making, potentially your Force of Wills, and makes a good argument for running delve spells like Murderous Cut as well. So Dom's got some interesting card choices. It's got the basis of Force of Will, Daze, and Force of Negation. Some Fatal Push, Ponder, Brainstorm. This is definitely sharing a lot of DNA with various, maybe Delver strategies, for example. Got 3 Underground Seas in there. It's a pretty wild deck. I think Legacy is, in some ways, heading to a point where if you have the staples, decks like this are just a fun thing that you can do. If you've got 3 Underground Seas, you've picked up your dual lands, or that's something you're working towards. Once you're there, or if you already have your Undergrounds, if you're starting at the top, you're able to build a deck like this with fairly minimal additional investment. I mean, cards like Retrofitter Foundry and Yuriko, not too crazy to pick up. You're talking about cards most of the time are going to be like less than $10 each to be able to build something that's going to feel and play totally different. So while this may have a lot of the same cards as Delver, I mean, you're doing some pretty fun stuff. Death and Taxes mulling down to 5. They've got the play in a Karakas into Aether Vial. Well, mercifully, this deck doesn't actually use any type of mana denial. Unlike Delver strategies, this 18-land deck doesn't have any wastelands. Really focused on being able to pay a black and a blue to ninjutsu out as soon as possible. Got that Retrofitter Foundry. It's a pretty neat card. I mean, the fact that it can come out early against control and potentially be difficult to remove, I think is really interesting. Another Aether Vial for Tyler. And now Mother of Runes coming in. She'll get fatally pushed. I'll tell you, when you mulligan with Death and Taxes and you get a couple of Aether Vials, it does not feel like you're playing with very many cards. Of course, the exception to that is if you can manage to get a Recruiter of the Guard. That can really turn the tide. Recruiter of the Guard can get Flicker Wisp, which can in turn flicker out the Recruiter of the Guard to get another Flicker Wisp, and you can really pull your way back into the game. But we'll see how this ends up going against this pair of Retrofitter Foundries. They can really step up that upgrade ladder, going from Servo to Thopter to Construct. Not the type of thing that you're going to be happy for your opponent to have during a board kind of standstill. In Yuriko, walking into a Flicker Wisp trigger. So no block. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. So this probably didn't need to play out that way. Flicker Wisp could have removed that token. No, I guess it couldn't because the Retrofitter Foundries. What an interesting matchup. Yeah, Yuriko is on board. And now Flicker Wisp turning sideways. I mean, this is a dangerous game. Dominic can make a 1-1 flyer to block this. So Tyler got to be very confident. In his ability to handle the situation. Oh, Dom actually choosing to take the damage, it would seem. Yeah. Swords to Plowshares. Takes out Yuriko. In response to Ponder. And we got an Ornithopter, looks black bordered. Might be FBB. Looks FBB to me. Originally printed in Antiquities. Been reprinted several times since. Zero two. Kind of, I guess in the story, gets stumbled upon by all artificers. I believe we had that in Mirrodin and in Kaladesh. And it's fun to see the card actually finding a place in a deck like this. It's actually pretty decent in Blue-Black Ninjas. That and the Changeling Outcast are really what make the deck work. And Flicker Wisp looking to get in there. This time, however, 1-1 being made. Oh, and that trade can't feel good. That can't feel good. Flicker Wisp is down. These Retrofitter Foundries at this point kind of feel like they're totally out of control. Phyrexian Revoker, but this may end up being too little too late. Oh, and Fatal Push, just immediately answering it. That is rough. Oh, wow. Plague Engineer. That is rough. We've got Yuriko. Oh, no. The other ninja coming in. And this has got to be pretty close to scooping time. Unless Tyler's playing Cataclysm. I mean, if he runs Cataclysm, he may have some way back into this game. But even still, I think he'd be a huge underdog to this board presence. Thopter can be immediately upgraded to a 4/4. That's kind of the worst case scenario from Dom's perspective. Oh, he's got the Cataclysm. All right. Making it interesting. Wow. All right. So it looks like Dom's going to keep 1 land, 1 artifact, 1 creature. Let's see what he keeps. Plague Engineer is very, very powerful here. But the ninja will draw you out of the game. It's going to hold on to a swamp. Doesn't hurt as bad with the Caracas, the legend rule, would have been blown up anyways. So needing to sack your Caracas, not the end of the world. Flagstones of Troikar, giving Tyler an additional permanent, but he is out of creatures. And Dominic is just going to be able to start rebuilding thanks to this Retrofitter Foundry and the additional card draw. Council's Judgment. Like, both of these permanents are a huge problem. Leaving them with the Retrofitter Foundry. Which turns sideways. This Caracas, potentially a real issue for Yuriko, a legendary creature. Kind of popular commander as well. Wasteland forces the issue, as Retrofitter Foundry is used in response, while Dom still has access to the mana. Now Ornithopter coming down. And that is going to get upgraded to a 4/4. And Tyler scooping it up is a Retrofitter Foundry of all things, completely dominating this game. I did not anticipate saying that to an audience when I woke up this morning. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.